In this video, we're going to be sewing a lace or net into a V neckline. I'll be using illusion net, and I've gone ahead to cut 2 pieces of the illusion net. I've joined them at the neckline. I've trimmed down the seam allowance, and now I'm going to fix it into the V neckline of the fabric. Here I've gone ahead to sew one side of the illusion net. It's not looking straight because it is not a straight V neckline. It's almost like a sweetheart neckline. This is the back. This is what the back looks like after sewing the first part of the V of the illusion net. Now I'm going to sew the second side of the illusion net. I'm going to pin it down in such a way that when I'm sewing, I won't pick the net with it. So I'll pin the edge of the net. I'll pin it far away from where I want to sew. Then I'll sew the second side of the illusion net. So this is what it looks like after sewing the second side. As you can see, I didn't pick the other part of the illusion net with it. I only sewed the edge. And this is what it looks like after sewing it. This is what it looks like. This is the V part of the net. I'm sewing this only on the fabric. I will have to now place the lining on it. The right side of the fabric where I sewed the illusion net, I'll place the lining on it. Then I'll pin it down. I'll make sure I pin away the illusion net as much as possible. Then I'm going to sew one side of the lining. I'll sew it from the back. So this is the back where I sewed the illusion net. I'll sew it from this place and not from the other side where I cannot see the line. So the first line I made, I'm going to sew it here to join the lining. Then I'll sew slightly above this first line. I won't sew the exact line. I'll sew slightly above it. So this is what the lining looks like after being sewn on one side. Like I said, I didn't sew from this side where I have the lining. I sewed from the other back. Yeah, I sewed from here and not the part where I have the lining. So I can see the line I sewed previously. That is why I sewed from here, this part. Like I said, I sewed slightly above the first line. When I was approaching the V, I didn't sew on the same line because I don't want the V to be altered or to be destroyed. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to flip the lining to the back. After sewing both sides of the V, I'll flip the lining to the back now. Then this is what it looks like after flipping it. As you can see, I have my first line slightly above the lining. It's very, very close to the lining. And this is the back. You can see the double lines. I have 2 lines. The upper one is the one I used to join the lining to this fabric. The next thing I did is to sew on the edge of the lining. So I'll pick the lining and the seam allowance inside together and sew at the edge where I have the V. I'll sew at the edge on the lining only, as you can see. So this is what it looks like after sewing down the edge of the lining with the seam allowance. So this helps the lining to relax inside and stay inside. It won't be jumping up. Then after doing this, you have to also give it a good press. You have to iron it also. the lining, so that it can relax. It won't be coming out. So this is what it looks like after joining it. This is like a sweetheart neckline, but not really a sweetheart. It's like a V with a bit of sweetheart effect. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please kindly like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new here, and click the notification bell. Thank you.